It would be difficult to find a better example in North Dakota of how a community worked together to overcome a serious wildfire hazard than that of Bismarck. In every wooded area, after time, a layer of fallen trees, branches, leaves, and grasses builds up. When the layer is left to grow unchecked, it becomes a dangerous fuel source, waiting to feed the flames of any happenstance fire into uncontrollable proportions. Fuel mitigation is the process by which this layer is removed, eliminating the unsafe level of fuel. The city of Bismarck had long recognized wooded areas within the city limits that posed such a threat. A fire in these areas would put nearby homes and lives at risk. Leaders wondered, if there was a fire, could the fire department fight the fire safely and effectively? Awareness of the danger was not a problem, but funding for such a large-scale fuel mitigation project was a real issue. Paul Blumhardt, a currently retired city forester, first considered the idea of applying for federal grant money. Some years ago, Congress voted in favor of a national fire plan to funnel funds for fire management to the states through the U.S. Forest Service. The dollars allocated to North Dakota were to be administered by the North Dakota Forest Service.
Well, we knew about this wooded area in southwest Bismarck for about 4 or 5 years, and we knew we had a problem. We knew we had to do something with it, but we didn't have the funding to take care of the problem. I visited with the North Dakota Forest Service about the problem, and they told me that there was a grant coming available from the U.S. Forest Service that would come to the state that would be used, that we could use to help mitigate this problem.
Bismarck applied for and was awarded grant funds that would effectively bear the financial burden for the proposed fuel mitigation project. Paul worked hand in hand with city leaders, the Bismarck firefighters, and the North Dakota Forest Service to strategize and implement a plan which called for both fire mitigation and the development of fire trails. The mitigation and fire trail project was completed over a period of 3 years. An unforeseen demonstration of the project's worth came on April 2, 2005, when a potentially tragic fire was fought safely and became an unexpected success story. The fire broke out very near, but not within, the recently mitigated area south of Bismarck. The fire's potential for damage was on 2 fronts. Earlier in the day, the wind was out of the southeast, driving the fire northwest. If the fire was not controlled in a timely fashion, it could easily jump a natural fire break and ignite a larger area of trees. Even more damage was possible if predictions of a late-day switch in the wind direction from southeast to northwest came to pass.
When urban structures meet up with wildland type brush and trees, it's a lot easier if we have an access or a fire trail to take us down where we can actually fight the fire away from the private property and have a chance to put the fire out before it gets there.
If the firefighters did not suppress the fire quickly, this wind shift would put many homes and lives in danger. Fortunately, the fire broke out in an area that had been made accessible by the fire trail cleared in 2002.
The fire trail not only saved homes, or probably saved homes, but it will so in the future also. The best thing that can happen with a wildland fire like this, or in these woods, is a quick fire attack. And with the trail, we're able to get inside of the woods, get to the fire, and extinguish it as rapidly as we possibly can.
Firefighters were able to efficiently and safely approach the fire, allowing them to bring the fire to a relatively quick and safe conclusion. No firefighters or residents were injured, and there was no loss to private property. Without this fire trail, firefighters would have had no easy way to reach the fire. Consequently, it would likely have spread to both the larger wooded area and the nearby homes. To learn more about how you can prevent fires and reduce the risk to your home, visit www.firewise.org or contact your local fire department. When city leaders and residents work together, the whole neighborhood becomes safer. If your community has identified or would like to identify potential areas of risk, please contact the North Dakota Forest Service. For more information, check out the links on the packaging, and always remember to be wise about fire safety. Overcoming challenges often requires that critical stakeholders come together to seek innovative solutions. As a result, other people and communities are able to benefit from these solutions. Our hope is that you and your community will benefit from one such successful resolution reached in Bismarck, North Dakota. Their challenge was to slow their rapidly expanding landfill land area requirements. The increase was in large part created by a newly formed fuel mitigation program. Bismarck addressed a potentially dangerous situation in their wooded areas by removing fallen trees, limbs, and other debris. If left unmanaged, this accumulated layer of fuel could quickly and easily fuel a wildfire to uncontrollable proportions, putting firefighters, residents, and property at risk. Unfortunately, this proactive and potentially life-saving fuel mitigation program created another problem. The addition of trees and limbs that were gathered increased the already vast amount of wood waste in the city landfill. Like many other communities, Bismarck is obligated to maintain the urban forest. Some 4,000 tons of wood waste is produced yearly through its urban forest maintenance. Traditionally, the city landfill had managed wood waste by burying or burning it. With the additional amounts created through fuel mitigation, the time was right for a more environmentally friendly and economical solution. At the suggestion of the North Dakota Forest Service and with the help of grant funds, Bismarck purchased a tub grinder. A tub grinder quickly and easily grinds whole trees into small wood chips. Purchasing its own equipment rather than contracting for the service allowed daily access and convenience. Moreover, calculations suggested the tub grinder would pay for itself within 5 years. City leaders agree. The purchase of the grinder was a success. The Bismarck landfill has markedly decreased the amount of land area needed to manage the wood waste. Wood chips are consistently being sold to area residents and businesses for landscaping. Large quantities of quality wood waste is available for composting. And finally, various facilities are looking at using biomass boiler heating systems to heat their buildings.
What's right about Bismarck's fuel mitigation project is that it's innovative. It's creating conditions for safety around our homes and along our riparian forest. It's reducing the volume of wood waste that could be accumulating at our landfills. It's providing a heating source to one of our public buildings. It's reducing some of the air quality problems that could create from an open fire. It's just a win-win situation.
You never know what innovative solutions you can find to life's challenges until you put your collective heads together and explore the possibilities. To learn how you can implement this or other more fitting solutions to similar challenges, call the North Dakota Forest Service or the North Dakota Department of Health. It's not often that win-win solutions to life's challenges can be found. But in this case, win-win truly applies to the groundbreaking solution mapped out by some very innovative thinkers. It is our hope that other communities in North Dakota can take advantage of this forward thinking. Bismarck officials had a problem. Their landfill was showing the strain of larger than normal amounts of wood waste. Like most communities, Bismarck is obligated to maintain the trees within its borders. This maintenance produces some 4,000 tons of wood waste every year. In addition, a much larger influx of waste was expected from a newly devised fuel mitigation program. Fuel mitigation is the process by which the layer of fuel is removed from wooded areas. If left unmanaged, it is a reserve of fuel that can propel the flames of a wildfire into unmanageable proportions. Bismarck's plan to manage the growing amount of wood waste was simple. First, they would purchase a tub grinder, which reduces limbs and trees to wood chips. These wood chips can be used by the city and its citizens for landscaping material, as well as compost material from the landfill. Wood chips also take much less room to store than raw trunk and limb waste.
The process that we're doing now for saving landfill space is is more so working out better than the way we buried it before. With that, it's the mobility of our grinder. We're able to move it around to different areas, which has helped out a lot. And we're also getting about 4,000 tons a year what was coming in as a good recycled product. With that, we're using it at our new facility. It's going up now. We're going to be using as a heating system for that facility, along with different areas in the landfill that we're using it for too.
The advantages for the city landfill don't stop there. Bismarck applied for and received grant funds that made it possible to offset the cost of purchasing a biomass heating system. This system provides the heating for the new landfill facility completed in 2006. The facility stores household hazardous waste such as oils, solvents, and thinners. The opportunity for the landfill to put to good use the very waste they are responsible to manage is truly remarkable. This system and others like it throughout North Dakota can use wood chips exclusively as a fuel. Not only is this heating option economical, given today's high heating fuel costs, it is environmentally sound as well. The process boasts reduced levels of sulfur emissions and perhaps even mercury emissions compared to coal boilers.
The environmental benefits of the biomass boiler process, first, the wood that's lying around is collected or mitigated, so you really don't have much of a fire hazard if you're always on top of the dead wood, so to speak. And also the wood doesn't end up in the landfills. And lastly, the sulfur emissions compared to a coal-fired boiler are less for a wood-fired system.
The boiler looks much the same as other boilers available for heating purposes and functions similarly. The boiler will use approximately 290 tons of wood chips a year to heat the new facility, which leaves a considerable amount left of the 4,000 tons produced by Bismarck every year. With so much remaining, other organizations can consider the use of biomass heating systems in their facilities. Connect the dots, and the cascading benefits are obvious. The plan reduces required storage space, turns waste into landscaping product, allows the waste to be used for composting, sees secondary profits from selling these landscaping materials and compost, transforms waste into a renewable heating fuel, is environmentally beneficial and economic, ensures the management of wood waste, though necessary, is no longer regrettable. Until recently, the wood waste would truly go to waste, being burned or buried. All of these benefits were the result of good old-fashioned teamwork. City leaders, state officials, and other members of the community came together to develop a plan that is truly a win-win for the city of Bismarck, North Dakota. If your community is interested in implementing a biomass heating program, please contact the North Dakota Forest Service or the North Dakota Department of Health.